Head women's basketball coach Aaron Kahl, your team is currently 2-2 after splitting your games this last weekend at a home tip-off tournament. How do you feel about the start to the season so far?
It's been a good start. I mean, we've had obviously we won two and lost two. There's been some good things and some things we obviously need to work on, but that's what you hope for at this time of year. You see some of the stuff you do well and see some of the things that you need to work on, and we've identified some of those things, and hopefully we'll keep getting better as we move forward.
You beat Finlandia last week, and you lost in overtime to Hamlin. You get to play those same two teams right in a row next week, but first tonight you play McAllister. Take me through kind of the stretch of Thanksgiving and how your team mentally prepares for that with a big break.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of games now. This will be our fifth game, from the start of the season. So once we had our first game, we've only had 4 practices in those 5 games. So we haven't had a lot of time to really break down and work on some things. So we've had some good games, which has been exciting. And then tonight will be another good test for us. Anytime you go on the road playing a good MIAC team, you're going to have to play well and shoot well. And they're off to a good start. They're off to a 2-1 start. They've already beaten 2 teams in our league. So we know we'll have to play well tonight, and then we'll enjoy some time off, take a little bit of a break, and then get ready as we come back to play Finlandia and Hamlin again.
Has anyone individually surprised you for the good in terms of someone that maybe has come across doing better than you expected?
I guess nobody jumps out. Maybe Kim Campbell a little bit has just shot it really well, and I think we found out earlier today that she's one of the top 3-point shooters in the NCAA, which wouldn't have necessarily predicted that. And Kim's always been a good shooter, but that was something that I wouldn't have necessarily predicted. So hopefully she can keep that going. And she had a really good game against Hamlin, kind of kept us in the game, which was great. And Chanel's been pretty consistent, but that you kind of come to expect from a senior. So and then Amy was off to a really good start, before she kind of went down with that knee injury. So those were all good things to start out with for sure.
Your team is shooting a better percentage than opponents. You're rebounding more, but turnovers, there's a pretty big margin where you have 30 plus more than your opponents. How do you corral that, or how do you prepare for that to try and minimize those?
Well, we try to figure it out. We talk about it a lot. We try to emphasize it in practice. We try to have consequences in practice or accountability for our turnovers. We look at it on film. So we do all of the different things that we can to try to figure out why that's happening. Part of it is we played two teams that especially pressure a lot in Finlandia and Bethel, and 2 really good defensive teams that really look to create turnovers. So some of that is because of that, and we kind of play more zone, so we're not creating as many turnovers. And then some of it is just us just not being able to handle the pressure of all the teams that we've played.
What is the plan going into Thanksgiving, where you're not? Last year you were traveling, I believe, over that span. But what is the plan for your team after a away game tonight, and then I know you're coming back on Sunday to prep for next week?
Yeah, we'll give them a break. So most of them will go home tonight. In fact, a lot of their families will come to the game, then they'll go home tonight, have a nice break. They get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday all off. So we'll take 4 days, and we'll look forward to that because we've been going pretty hard. Come back on Sunday, and then we have 3 practices Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which is kind of a nice thing for us because we haven't had 3 practices in a row for a while to kind of get ready for our next couple of games.